And we are live. No, the mic. Okay, so the mic was not working. There's always pressure to pretend as if life isn't difficult for us. Ever felt that way? Vladimir Lopez, hello, brother. Thanks for joining the live. Kama is a B. Thanks for joining the live. Ewan Dobson, thanks for joining the live. DJ on NX, thanks for joining the live. Yeah, man, there's always pressure to pretend as if life is going well for us. We realize that, like, you have to pretend as if life isn't difficult for you. Now, I'm one of the realest people, or let me say the most honest people that you can ever meet, and I still feel the pressure to pretend as if things are going well for me, even if things are not going well for me. Because if things are not going well for you, it signals to other people that maybe you're a failure, maybe you just don't have your shit together. So that is why. So we lie, we try to make people think that life isn't difficult for us. We try to make other people think that things are working out, even if things are not working out. The truth is, life is difficult. I would like to know what keeps you guys going. What keeps you all going? I think what keeps me going is curiosity. I'm just curious because this experience didn't make sense. So I'm like, okay, maybe it will make sense in the end. Maybe I will understand what the whole thing was about in the end. Because what I've experienced so far didn't really make sense. I'm a person who likes to connect the dots, but it just didn't. I try my best every day to figure out what the meaning of my existence was, and I just don't know. So what keeps me going is trying to figure out what this is. Like trying to know for sure what this is while I'm still here. You know, I do think that I might really know what this is, but until I get a real confirmation, I can't really say I know for sure. So what keeps me going is curiosity, man. Will this ever make sense? Will someone explain to me, hey, you were just in the simulation the whole time, and you were here to um, you know to try to remember something. We put you here so that you can try to remember something, and you are the only person that we trusted to put here to kind of remember, something. Or it's just a game, and we trusted you to play this game, and we wanted to see how you play it. Whatever. Like I want to know what this is, because that is important. That is important. You as a conscious being really deserve to know what this is, and you must feel that way. Like, you really deserve to know what this is. If you maybe, like, living with people who are very, very religious, who are judging you for asking questions, show them this video. Or tell them that, hey, I do have the right to know what this is, as a conscious being, because I am experiencing this. I cannot pretend as if I'm not experiencing this life from my own perspective. I cannot just be like, I believe whatever other people are telling me about reality. Like, no, I'm experiencing reality from my perspective, so I must know what this is, without being forced to believe things that don't really make sense to me. You see, I'll be betraying myself if I pretend to believe things that don't make sense to me, you know. So I must be honest. So yeah, what keeps me going is the curiosity. I would like to know what keeps you guys going. Yeah, today I want to read comments actually, especially comments about what like keeps you guys going. Um, I want us to inspire one another because this is not easy. To be honest, this is not easy, and it seems like the older you get, the more it becomes difficult because you are becoming more mature, right? Like you are starting to see things that you weren't able to see before, and because we live in a really messed up world, uh, what you start realizing doesn't make you feel good, right? Like what you start realizing doesn't really make you feel good. When you were little, at least life makes, I mean, it didn't make sense, but you felt better because you just didn't know. But now that you know, things become more and more difficult because you just hate what you're beginning to understand about life. But when you were young, you didn't understand anything. You just wanted to buy ice cream. Like you didn't really have problems. You just wanted money to buy ice cream, to buy sweets. You just wanted to watch your favorite TV show. You just wanted clothes. You just wanted to play with other kids. That's it, right? But as you get older, because you deal with a lot, you start to ask the right questions. And what's messed up is that the answers that you find do not make you feel good, because we really do live in an upside down reality. Yes, some people might try to gaslight you and tell you that we're having a positive experience. I know, we all have these people in our lives who will tell us that, and you try to have a conversation with them, you'd realize that they're naive, or they're just not honest with themselves. And sometimes you even think that they are just sent by someone to try to convince you that this is making sense, even if it's not making sense. But if you're truly honest with yourself, yeah, this doesn't really make sense. But we're still here, we're still having this experience. So yeah, I would like to know what keeps your guys going. um Erwin Dobson, yep, if you ain't happy, you must be the problem, because happiness in this room is the expected norm. Yeah, man. What's crazy is that most people ain't even happy, right? Happiness is looked at as some kind of achievement. Like if you are happy, you're doing something right. Um, but most people that I know that I felt were genuinely happy, it's usually people that I didn't feel like they were very intelligent. When you meet someone and yeah, yeah, it's like there's so much that they don't know, there's so much that they don't understand, and they seem happy. They're like a dog, yeah, like a dog, being happy all the time. It doesn't focus on like many things, just focus on food. When it sees you, it's always happy, and it doesn't really have problems. So yeah, the people that I know that seem to truly be happy were people who don't really think much, who don't really know much, who are very, very ignorant. But the people that I met that I felt were really intelligent, they didn't seem happy. Every person that I felt was intelligent, I didn't sense happiness from them. It's like they're sad. Like there's something that they are hiding, and it's like this deep sadness. Crypto Almighty, what's up, Benedictine? Thanks for joining the live. Gandalf's enjoying quantum gravity. God. What do you mean, God? When Dobson, hey man, I feed birds by hand. That is fun to do. You could probably feed birds. I never could where you live. Now, where I live, people kill birds, right? So bears are afraid of people. You never feeding birds by hand here. They're afraid. They're afraid of people. People kill birds and cook them. So they're not used to people. They don't stay like around people. Every time they see a person, they just fly away. Lopez, what keeps me going is my curiosity about what the heck is this realm. Also, what keeps you going is what keeps me going. It's just curiosity. You're like, hey man, it didn't make sense at the beginning, so maybe it will make sense in the end. Ever watched a movie that just doesn't make sense, and you keep on watching because you're like, okay, maybe it will make sense, maybe it will make sense. So it's kind of like life. You're like, hey, it has to make sense. I can't just be here and experience nonsense, like total nonsense, and it just ends, and I will have just experienced nonsense. Like, no, it has to make sense, you know. I know I've had dreams that do not make sense, but life is it's kind of like a persistent dream. So there has to be a storyline that actually makes sense. I have to sit down one day and be like, yeah, it was difficult, but I think this is what it was all about. You know, can't wait for that day to come. Games dog, you keep me going, Benedict. No, thanks, man. That means a lot. Duchawa, great light, everyone. Sovereign, do you think we need for conquer lust and love and other addictions to never reincarnate again? No, that's a very, very good question. Um, because what we need to realize as humans is that what we call love is very similar to addiction, right? It's a strong emotion that you feel for people who life has blessed, right? Like you feel these strong emotions for people who life has blessed. And then we call it love. Like, oh, I love that guy. I love that girl. You know, that person is super handsome. That person is charismatic. That person was born in a good family. They have money, so you feel it, right? Remember, love. We don't feel love for people who have, no, I mean, who are at a disadvantage. And that should tell you something. I mean, we might feel compassion, yes, but not love. Like, no, that love that makes us want to spend time with people. We don't really feel it for the people who are not doing well in life. So the question here is our addiction to what love, I mean, our attachment to love and other addiction, is that what's keeping us reincarnating here? Um, um, yeah, I do think to some extent because think about it, even in your sleeping dreams, if you love someone deeply, you would even dream about them, right? Like you manifest them in your dream and you dream about them and you still feel these emotions for them. So yeah, it's very much possible. Maybe to escape the reincarnation trap, we need to be operating at a level of consciousness that is so high that these emotions that are keeping us in this realm no longer exist. They no longer conquer us. Like we will really understand um, how messed up the whole thing is, like how messed up we are, the way that we've been programmed as people, the way that we've been programmed to root for those who are winning, the way that we've been programmed to want to help those who don't even need our help, to be there for those who don't even need us to be there for them, while there are people who need our help and all that. Like that's how we've been programmed, so we need to go beyond that. We need to operate at a place of honesty where we're just fair. So I think, yeah, because love is also causing a lot of pain. That's what you must realize. If you are in a relationship with someone, you're a good person, you're treating that person right, but they fall out of love with you and they love someone else, not because that person is better than you or loves them or they're treating them better than you're treating them. They just love that person, like out of nowhere, right? You love this person that you're with, you're treating them well, but they meet this person and they're like, wow, this is my soulmate, because they're feeling these strong emotions, and then they leave you, they hate you, and they treat that person well, even if that person isn't even treating them well. And they're like, I'm gonna keep on fighting for this until they fall out of love with that person, or until they've felt enough pain that they're like, okay, I gotta leave this person because this isn't healthy for me. We're messed up, man. We're messed up. That's like how this matrix keep on getting energy from us. It's relationships, man. Isn't it odd that relationships are not working? Like people keep on breaking up. It's messed up everywhere, man. It's messed up everywhere. Protheus G. Seeing being alive as an existential breath work, an exercise in conscious suffering, as if reducing possible unconscious suffering time of a beloved. That's what keeps you going. No, that's actually the shower. If you're looking for it in a language, you will not find it because truth is not in English. All right, kind of get you. Ewan Dobson. Otherwise, we are just entertainment for to keep the gods company for their depression and loneliness. Yeah, I mean that's what really makes sense to believe, right? The shower says truth is literally in your face. Mm. Yeah, of course, truth has to be something obvious but crazy, something very strange but very obvious. That's true. Chill. Life is a daily battle. Yeah, man. You wake up not even knowing what you're gonna experience, and yeah, problems just start coming. Ever woken up feeling anxious because you don't know what they holds for you? Like, hey, um, maybe I'm gonna have a lot of problems today that I'm gonna have to deal with. Maybe I'll deal with this person. Maybe this and that will happen. Like, it's really a difficult journey. Being human is really difficult. When I was growing up, I used to feel bad for animals, but when you think about it, human beings are the true slaves, right? Human beings are the true slaves. You know, slaves to time, slaves to approval, slaves to trend, slaves to our own emotions, feelings, and every like we are in so many like different matrix, like not just one matrix, like many different matrix, and we are slaves to this matrix, like, social media matrix, 9 to 5 matrix, relationship matrix. Like, bro, it's not easy being a human. DJ on an X, bro, this is the matrix and Benedictine is Morpheus. Yeah, I think being Morpheus is hard. I don't feel like Morpheus enjoyed himself in the Matrix. The Chawa, you are the only one thinking all your life. No man can teach you because you have to teach you that you are what you are being taught. Yeah, that's true. That's 100% true. That's why I'm saying people have to take what they think seriously. Sometimes you mustn't like wait for other people to confirm to you that what you think makes sense. If what you think makes sense is what is making sense, you have the final authority over what makes sense and what doesn't. So if something doesn't make sense, it doesn't. You mustn't be like, okay, I trust my pastor. I mustn't trust myself. I must trust my pastor, or I mustn't trust myself. I must trust my parents, or I mustn't trust myself. I must trust, the president of my country. Like, no, you trust yourself. What really, really makes sense to you? That's 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 the right way to look at things than to give your power to other people. Ewan Dobson, when we get older, we stop making excuses for the failures of life and its poor design. Yes. Yeah, we start to realize, like, when you have tried everything, it even gets to a point where you just don't care anymore. You're like, I've tried everything. Like, when I was young, I used to blame myself a lot when I was failing, but now I'm like, dude, I did everything right. Like, it's just, life just is what it wanted to be. Like, I shouldn't stress about it anymore. Be like, hey, I should have done this, I should have done that. Like, life has a way of being what it wants to be. We're not really in control. That's the thing. Chiro say there really are no answers. No, there have to be answers, and chances are you've already found the answers. The problem is that no one confirmed to you that what you have figured out is the truth. You see, um, I remember I gave you this example before that I had a dream where I was in a beach surrounded by people, like many people, and I was telling them that we are in a dream, and they were telling me no, we're not in a dream. They were telling me that I'm crazy, and I kept on telling them that no, we are in a dream. But no one confirmed to me that I was in a dream until I woke up and I was like, yeah, I was right. It was all a dream. But no one confirmed to me. So that's the thing. Like you do kind of realize what the truth is, but there isn't a person that confirms to you that what you have realized is the truth. So yeah, you find the truth and you're like, yeah, this makes sense. But you confused. You can't just stick to one thing and be like, this is the truth. You confused. You're looking at other possibilities. So there's the thing. Stalker, what do you think about astrology and its ability to predict your time of death, marriage, inclination, etc.? We are basically victims of causality, but now scientifically proven through astrology. Now I've watched videos on astrology. Um, Look, I don't know enough about astrology to comment on it. Like, I really need to take my time to study astrology or people who believe in astrology. I need to study them, study their work, and see if they really can predict the future, right? There's this guy that I keep on seeing on TikTok. He talks about, hey, I can predict when a person is going to die based on when they were born. I can predict if they're going to be famous, based on when they were born. I can predict if they're going to be rich and all. Like one thing that you must realize, and I'm not saying astrology isn't real, but you can believe anything and anything can make sense in this realm, right? And you can believe in anything and anything can make sense. Like if you wanted to believe that I'm the devil, you could believe that. If you wanted to believe that, let's say I died today, if you wanted to believe that I left you a message in my videos, you could believe that. Like you could find videos where I say something and then you connect it with something else and you're like, oh, this is what Benedictine has been trying to say. What I'm saying to you is that you can make anything make sense in this realm, right? You can make anything make sense. Um, you watch videos about the Illuminati, the numbers, that you see sometimes. Like for an example, Tupac's death. I remember some people, you know, say that no, Tupac is alive and he's gonna come back and maybe I don't remember when they say he's gonna come back and they will add some numbers, using his date of birth and the number of albums that he's made and the date of his death and all that. So I'm saying you can make anything make sense. Keep that in mind. I'm not saying astrology isn't real, but uh, you know we must question everything. So I don't know enough about astrology to yeah to talk about it like in detail, but I will. Yeah, I do think it's something that's worth studying. You know, Churro. I look for the next crazy thing to happen and then just go with it. Like you always expect the worst. Jichawa, we do all this talking and left out the magicians that gave us these talking assumptions. DJ on and X say there's people in my community who can let you know exactly when you die off the top. No, that's interesting. Peaks and valleys. What's up, man? Thanks for joining. Thanks for joining. The Chow, people underscores by understanding how to spell. So language is limited us somehow. Like it has limited our ability because now we think in language. That makes sense. Golf AI literally just waiting on World War III. I hit limit on suffering and doesn't mean I cannot still be uncomfortable. I had so real emotion last day and dream realer than I ever felt in reality. Even yeah, you think World War III is coming? Probably gonna have something to do with technology. Probably gonna have something to do with technology, and artificial intelligence will be used. Isn't that what's scary? Solitude, but I am bored. That is the thing. I am too conscious. I need to get stimulated, but I have chronic pain and cannot do anything at the same time. Not a good combination. Yeah, no, that's bad, man. Demon Slayer. How do you get rid of negative energy from people in society? What do you mean? Negative energy from. It's much better to be alone most of the time because people will always be people. That's the thing. So I don't think you can really get rid of it. You just have to get comfortable being alone most of the time. Peaks and valleys. I had a very strange dream last night. It was a dream inside a dream inside it. Nah, that's that's crazy. Like kind of like an inception, you know. Now I've had those. I've had those, and they're strange. Like if you have a dream within a dream within a like it's strange, strange, like really, really strange dreams, and that does tell us something about this reality. It's just that, of course, people will, you know, will never be too sure what this really is. But I think it does. Like dreams do tell us about what's really possible in this realm. Robert Inlin, how do you get rid of or bad energy from humans you avoid manually? Yeah, I think that's the best way. Go for AI. And I had a dream I was in like a soul trap and tried to corrupt me, but I refused. And then I started losing teeth. And when I was half awake, I still felt like my teeth were shaky and hard. Long time. Do you guys have dreams where you are losing teeth? Because I usually have these kind of dreams where I would even feel like this is real, like because I've had so many like I probably had more than 1,000 dreams where I was losing teeth. So when so sometimes when I'll have a dream where I'm losing teeth, I'll be like, okay, I have this kind of dreams, right? Look, so I'm in a dream and I'll be thinking that, yeah, I've had these dreams before, but this is real. Like I am really losing my teeth, like I'm losing my teeth in this persistent reality, and then I'll wake up and I still have my teeth, but it feels so real. Like I've had this dream so many times where I was losing my teeth, and I think it symbolizes something, like on a subconscious level. Like it does symbolize something. Robert Inlin say, "I love tweet birds. What are those?" DJ Onyx, how can you believe in solipsism if you truly speaking, you truly understand what a dream is? How can you believe in solipsism if you truly speaking, you truly understand what a dream is? Um, I don't believe in solipsism. I want you to understand it's not a belief. It's, when you think so rationally that the only, like, what I do, like on my videos, I figure out what makes the most sense, right? And it's not, to me, it's not about belief, like, okay, this is what I believe, this is what I don't believe. It's about what makes the most sense. So I will try to uh take you through like my like way of thinking. you know this is how I got to think this way, to make you realize that no, it does make sense to think that way, no matter how crazy it seems, but it does make sense. So I don't believe in solipsism. I just think that when you think as rationally as possible, that's gonna make some sense, right? Genetic puke. Corn kept me going and no fab keeps me. What is this word? in arrested. What's that? Oh, oh, now I get what you're saying. So you're saying, oh, con. It's a word for PORN. Eh? Oh, so that's what keeps you going, and you're saying no fap, referring to like not watching, con, and yeah, that's what keeps you in an interested. I think that's the word. Mm, do you think like when you are on no fap, do you feel better or do you feel worse? Like when you're on nofap, like do you feel stronger? Do you feel better? Do you feel more confident? Or do you feel worse? Random shit. It's like when people say God is outside of time and space. What the F does that mean? To exist outside of time and space, there has to be time and space. No, that's good logic. That's good logic. I think people who say that are people who believe in like in religion, right? Like people who are very religious who believe that there's this big being that because they kind of think God is this big human. So there's this big the human that yeah, that created the whole thing, and yeah, he exists outside of like everything that we see here and all that. Peaks and valleys. My recent dreams have been very realistic, though. They are always nearly 100% the same as the waking state. Nothing strange happens like when I was young. Yeah, man. Also, my dreams are also seem more realistic than the dreams that I would have when I was younger. Like they ain't too many strange things that happen in my dreams. Like I would have a dream where I'm sitting in a room with a bunch of people and talking. Like nothing strange. It's just I could have a dream where I'm live, just like now I'm live, right? Nothing strange happens. I could have a dream where in a taxi, don't even know how the dream started. I would know where I'm going. I would feel like I know where where I was before I got in the taxi. But yeah, dreams now seem more real than they used to. And I think that's strange. I don't know if this happens to everyone, but dreams seem more real like they used to. When I was young, I would have the craziest dreams, like dreams that just don't make sense, you know. But now I would wake up from a dream and even remember the conversations that I had with people, you know, the same way that I would remember a conversation that I had with a person in the waking state. Sure, if they want our energy so bad, why don't they give us better living conditions? Well, probably because we won't give them energy. So they have to create conditions that will make it easy for them to get energy from us. So if they create better conditions, then we won't be producing this kind of energy that they want because we'll be happy. We'll enjoy ourselves. That is why things, when they seem good, there will always be problems, that unnecessary problems. Like even in your own life, there's unnecessary drama. When things go too well, you even become suspicious. Like what's going on? Like I'm not used to this, and you'd even feel scared. You'd even feel scared because you're like, maybe this is a setup. Maybe something bad is about to happen. So now I'm just being given this break before like the worst things happen. So yeah, I would say they create these messed up conditions for us to suffer so that we give them energy. Because obviously there's not a good reason why we people are suffering, struggling to pay their bills, struggling to find work. Like that doesn't make there's nothing you learn from struggling to find work, right? Um I mean 9 to 5 like now doesn't even make sense because most people got shitty jobs, but there are a lot of people who want jobs, and yeah, because they've got to take care of their families, and they can't. Like, why? That doesn't make sense. People have unnecessary struggles. People are suffering and gaining nothing from their suffering. They're just suffering as if they did something wrong you deserve suffering. So yeah, that tells you something. Genetic puke. Benny, is you reading this chart in YouTube today? Yeah, I am. I always do when I'm like live. Um, tell me what keeps you going. I need to be inspired. I need to be inspired today. You have to understand. It's not easy to, it's not easy being human. It's not easy. So yeah, I want to know what keeps everyone going. Random shit. God is not a personality. God is the conscious source of reality. Yeah, that really makes sense. That really makes sense. The sad reality called life. This life gives you no options other than coping and getting out of your comfort zone. It's like we are programmed to do something in this realm if we like it or not. Yeah, you can't just not do anything. Like life always require you to do something. Like your own body, needs to be maintained. You gotta do something. You can't just not do anything. That's what's messed up. Otherwise, you're gonna be punished if you don't do anything at all. Caramites, do you smoke weed Benedictine? Yeah, only if I want to. Like I don't restrict myself, right? I'm not a person who'll be like, I don't do this, I don't do that. If I want to smoke weed, I will smoke weed, but I don't buy weed and smoke it. So it depends, like if I'm just chilling with people and there's weed, you know, it's cool. I'm gonna smoke it, but um I'm not like I can't call myself like a real stoner. You know what I mean? I think I'll skip some comments here. I want to read every comment. Okay, yeah. Okay, Sahil Sharma, can you stand the truth by uh what's that? Angeliki Max Tau. This book has everything we need to know. The truth of this cage and about the evil creator. Um Okay, so Angelique and no, can't even pronounce this name. So, the name of the book is "Can You Stand the Truth?" No, I haven't heard of that book. I should check it out. Gov A, I just want to be loved and understood and accepted in a normal world where beings don't have to hurt each other just to exist. Yeah, man, that would be way way better than this nonsense that we're experiencing. And are not pitted against each other. West ways 800 people in UK was justice scandal went to prison because glitch some died there. I'm not sure if I understand what you're saying here. The child was slave to understanding how to spell Michi 450. Welcome, welcome. Bad early. They have medication that works but won't give it to you unless you are lucky. Yeah, a lot of things have been kept away from us. Their holes. Humans are capable of analyzing the problems in their own existence on a complex level, but in many cases not being able to do anything about it. Yeah, because even if you analyze everything on your own, you can't get everyone to see things the way that you see things, right? It doesn't work that way. It seems like in this realm, you have to be powerful to have influence. Like it's not about being right. Like you could figure out like the solution to every problem that we have in the world, but you find that people don't comply. It's about power. It's not about being right. So if you are powerful, even if you are wrong, it doesn't really matter. You can get people to do what you want them to do. That's what sucks. It's not about being right. It's about power. Potato fields forever. I keep going because it looks like there is a mystery to be solved. It seems like what keeps many people going is what keeps me going. Right. So Potato is saying that he feels like there's a mystery to solve, and you're right. There's a mystery to solve because this is real mystery. The fact that you exist and you have no understanding of what is actually going on. Like that's a mystery. Khalifa. The whole point of Buddhism is to reach nirvana. I recently came to the realization that nirvana is non-existence. That's the only way to absolutely escape suffering. But it went over people's heads. Uh, I think you're trying to make it more than what it is. I think it's not that. It's this state where you just don't really suffer because of petty things. Hey Benedict, can I have a convo with you, Nick Shark? 100%, 100%. Peaks and valleys. Gov AI, you have to love yourself and understand yourself. You can't rely on others for that. Oh, I think I've actually skipped the comments, so I don't know what you guys were talking about. Mitch 450. I keep going because I'm afraid if I kill, okay, I can't even say that. But if I unalive myself, I'll go to hell. Okay, yeah. So the fear is the fear of hell, the fear of the afterlife, the fear of the unknown. What happens after this? And that's what makes this hard because you don't know what happens after this. You're like, what if there's a place that's actually worse than this and I find myself there? You'll be like, what if reincarnation is possible and I don't, if I live on my own, I would not have finished some of the things that I would have needed to. Like, people are afraid of so many different things, and they should be because we still don't know what this is. So anything is possible at this point. So I understand you. Nick Shark, do you have somewhere people can talk with you like, yeah, on Instagram? You can follow me on Instagram. Yeah, that's where we'll talk. And I'll also, like, what's the name of this platform again? This the Discord. Like, there's a Discord that I will like introduce to everyone, so like, so everyone can join soon. Michi 450. I feel like I would be a loser for giving up, but I'm so tired and in pain sometimes. Yeah, yeah, I feel you. Like, it doesn't, like, that's how society looks at people who decide that they're tired. So I feel you. I feel genetic puke. Them aliens want things their own way. Yeah, that's because there's aliens here. The said reality called life. The existence is so bad is that you can suffer a lot, and when life decides to bless you with a good reality, you begin to take your suffering for granted until it happens again. Yeah. Or you take your suffering with you. It's like, even if things go well, because you've been through so much, you don't forget. Because things can change in your life, and you find that they ain't as bad as they used to be. But you've been through so much that you're traumatized, right? It's like soldiers in the US who had like PTSD. They might find themselves in a better situation as well. They're no longer like fighting with other soldiers, but they just can't recover from what they've experienced. So that's the thing. Like you can go through so much that even when things are starting to look good for you, you take your suffering with you, to your next reality, even if it's a better reality. Medusa Swan, art and reading. Never lose touch with art and creativity. It's exactly what some people want. Yeah, I think music has helped me a lot. Like I like it when people create something. You know, I feel like one of the best way to communicate is through art. That's when people are truly vulnerable. Kara Mikes, I fainted like 3 or 4 times in my earlier years due to marijuana. Now I never faint, but I acquired brain damage due to one of them. I know because one spot on my head aches every other day. Oh, that sucks. Like you used to smoke all the time. I've only fainted once, and I think it was due to drinking. Like I was drunk. I drank like the whole day and decided to go out partying, and yeah, I continued to drink. I was not, because this is like I get dehydrated quickly. That's why I'm always drinking water. Like people wonder why I'm always drinking water. It's because I don't know. Like my body feels dehydrated if I'm not drinking water. So I have to drink water like every 5 minutes, really. So I was not drinking water, and I did not realize that I was not drinking water because I was drinking a lot of alcohol, and I just collapsed. But I didn't feel myself collapse. Someone just woke me up, and I was like, "What?" And I was scared because I thought maybe that's how it starts. Like it's gonna keep on happening, but it's only happened once and never happened again. So yeah, I think it was because of alcohol. Genetic puke. I saw creatures in the middle of the night. Where they angels? What kind of creatures did you see? The child, are you confused because you are under spells? FDEX interactions with people can be very difficult sometimes. Yeah, man. People don't communicate deeply enough. Like we have language as people, but we communicate like animals. Like we don't have real conversations. That's one of the problem. Sarah Mark says I wasn't in control. Something else made me faint, like high being controlling me and making me faint just for his entertainment. Like you can be switched off. This whole life experience is a dream. Then we are in a dream, which is a dream we know not of. Then we wake up in a dream. Then we wake up in a dream. I mean, that's what that really makes sense, to be honest. Most conscious elephant in the room. Prove to me, please, you are not the devil. um, you know what's funny? Like when I read the Bible, I find myself sympathizing with the devil, right? I don't find myself like on the side of God. Be like, oh, God was right to wipe out like everyone, or God was right to kill the firstborn babes in Egypt, or God was right to turn Lot's wife into like salt. Like I find myself siding with the devil. He gave Eve he told Eve to eat from the tree of knowledge, knowledge of good and evil and all that. Like it seemed like he was not really the bad guy in the Bible. So I can't prove to you that I'm not the devil. Maybe I am because I find myself siding with him. Calm me. Nothing worthy makes me keep going. But I guess personal goals like get better in emotional resilience, know myself more every day. I also have superficial goals as traveling more. Yeah, I think I think when we set personal goals for ourselves, like that does help, when you tell yourself that okay, I wish next year I wish that I'm able to handle this kind of situations better. Um, I wish that I'm a better person overall. I wish to know more than I know. Like it's like small things that keep us going. And sometimes, yeah, having money. You know, like when you if you've been broke your whole life, you're like, oh, maybe if I had some money. But me personally, like, I don't think if I had money, I would feel better. Like, because sometimes I think good things do happen in my life and I don't feel better at all. I don't even think about these things. Something good will happen and I don't even think about it because I'm so disappointed because I can see how bad this reality is. Even though good things can happen, you can be in a place where sometimes good things happen. But if it's a bad place, it's a bad place. So uh, you can't be like you can't be manipulated in the place. Like you can't be given good things so that you will not realize what is actually going on. You know, Sarah Marks, you don't go to hell for unaliving yourself. Hell is here on earth. Hell on earth. Ewan Dobson, what was truly exhausting was the constant command to participate in lying in order to be part of life's social realm. That's the thing. You gotta lie. You gotta lie. Life is about how best you can lie. If you need to be that honest. Open your mind. How do you live life? Do you still set goals? I feel like goals always make you go around in circles and never fulfilling. Yeah, I do set goals, but not like the kind of goals that other people set for themselves. Like different kind of goals. I'll be like, by next year, I need to be operating at a much higher level of consciousness. Yeah, next year, I should be like really addicted to going to the gym. Like it needs, like when I'm on a treadmill running, I'm like, I need to run faster. Those are the kind of goals that I set for myself. You know, like I gotta sprint and not feel tired. Um, yeah, something like that can be fun sometimes, like setting these goals. Sometimes I tell myself that, hey, when I'm out in public and I just want to maybe approach women for fun, like I need to I need to not hold back, right? I need to not hold back. Just approach, have conversations, make not even make friends, but I mean like just have some people that I can just talk to sometimes, just for fun, like without really holding back. Because I think as people sometimes we hold ourselves back. Everyone is like in their own world. You go out in public, you don't even talk to people, and also so I do try to get better at that too. Potato field forever, or maybe the NPC act according to astrology. I don't know, man. Yeah, it's possible. It's possible. I mean, NPCs have to be because they'll be part of the matrix. They'll be very predictable. Like if you can understand what really controls them, you can predict their moves. I guess. Ewan Dobson, yeah. If Earth is hell, then what is the point of another hell? That's like a house with two living rooms. Yeah, Trudenta. Yeah, can't pronounce this name right. Another hell maybe. Genetic puke say, Benny, yeah, on astrology, I can tell by the date you choose your channel, dude. Now, I'd like to have a conversation with someone who would like really understands astrology and see where they are at, like what they really understand that I don't. The real Drake say, imagine being an animal, but we are though. We just a bit more conscious, I guess, or it just seems that way. Pre Pretish G Prasannan. Sometimes what keeps us going can be guilt or tug from within and within for being lazy. Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, it's sometimes it can be that. I think, yeah, I think for maybe 20 to 30% of people, yeah, it's that. Sarah Mikes, I had a dream last night that I went with my female family member to a beautiful snow like hill and the city looks super beautiful. Then since it was icy and snowy, my feet started slipping. Um, how did it feel? Did it feel real? Then see, human is just a title we created. Yeah, you're just so trapped. 127 says, what keeps me going is survival mode. Yeah, everyone is on survival mode, I guess. Bilbo outdoors. I have a few dreams which are places where I revisited since childhood. Do you ever dream of new places? Peaks and valleys. To be honest, what keeps me going is not wanting to pass before my mother to avoid that that pain for her. But if it wasn't for that, I would be fine being gone tomorrow. Yeah, man. I think for most people in this world, um, people might not be honest about this, but I think for most people, what like really keeps them going is their loved ones. It's not wanting their loved ones to suffer because of their passing. Some people have children and they're like, "Hey, I can't leave my children behind because the world is cruel. So imagine how it would be uh, for them without me. At least when I'm here, I can help them when they need me. You know, so that's what keeps people going. It's their loved ones. It's knowing how cruel the world is and not wanting them to suffer alone. So people just will be like, hey, let me just keep on fighting. This is hard, but I'm gonna keep on fighting for my loved ones. Eric Ipo Paris, and God is waiting for us to change things around here and stop the madness. Lead by example. Why will God create people who don't understand each other and expect them to change things? Like we don't agree on a lot of things. Like this is a setup. Like when you think deeply about it, some people believe in religion, some people believe in not just one religion. There's many religions. Some people are atheists. You know, some people are philosophers. Like we're different. So how can we really make this world a better place? We have different um interests, right? Um, we have different values. No, there's no solving the value alignment problem. Like, if you need to be honest, like, how do you solve the value alignment problem? Because we don't have the same values as humans. We don't see the world the same way. We don't have the same desires. Whose values are right? It's just about it. You know, the people that we hold their values are the people who get to win, who become powerful. It's not even about right or wrong. So we're not making this world a better place because the God that you're talking about made us different, so that we don't get along. I mean, there's this Bible verse that talks about people working together trying to build a tower to get to heaven. The Bible is full of crazy stories. But God decided that He's gonna make them speak different languages so that they don't understand, one another. So that's what's happening. We don't understand one another. Everyone think they're right and everyone else is wrong. So how do we make this world a better place? It's impossible. It's a setup. Like, you need to see that. Stop lying to yourself. Rick and Baker just tuned in. Did you say you dream about losing a tooth? Yeah, I have this kind of dreams like many times. Like, it's so damn crazy, and these dreams seem real. You know. Potato fields forever. I've never had a dream where I was in massive pain. Um, I think in my dreams I'd have like emotional pain, like I would suffer emotionally most of the time. But I've had dreams where I was like hurt and I'd feel physical pain. Then to God is just something we created for so-called good. The real Drake says we are all one. What do you guys think about that? We are all one. Rick and Bake. I dream about losing a tooth sometimes too. I think everyone has these kind of dreams. Sarah Mac says I feel pain in my dreams. Yeah, that tells you something, because if you can feel pain in your dream, like if someone like punch you and you feel pain in your dreams, doesn't that tell you something about so-called reality? Evelina Paula, better you telling the truth is the real deal. Thanks, and thanks for joining. Golf AI, because she is so pathetic. I could imagine if I was gone, how she would felt so vividly that prevented me and she betrayed me infinitely. Even that I was most in need, so she is a zero to me at this point. What are you talking about? Sarah Mike say that semen retention work. Um, it depends on what you're trying to achieve, really. If you want to be super aggressive, yeah, you gotta be super aggressive. Um, like if you were an MMA fighter and you practice semen retention before, like during your training camp until the day of the fight, great. You probably win. You're gonna have enough aggression. So yeah, it does work depending on what you're trying to do, but you also have to understand that our own bodies do release like semen, like and it's natural, like it does release semen. So um doesn't work the way that we think it does, but to some degree it does. FDX, I had a dream where I was on a motorcycle propelled by a ram. By my head went above the clouds and I feel like it stood toward the earth. It's crazy the kind of dreams that we have sometimes, and we believe this dream. Like when we're in these dreams, we believe they're real. Voyager, do you think the world would be more peaceful place without religion? Um, I think humans would always find a reason to fight. Um, but yeah, religion did, like in Africa. I think we would be much better without religion, but I think there wouldn't be peace. You know, like religion is just is more like an excuse, really. Like we can say, hey, people are fighting because of religion and all. Like this, people fight because they fight. They fight because they don't understand one another. They fight because they want something from one another and all that. But yeah, religion. I would say, I would say we would be far without religion. Let me put it that way. But I wouldn't say there will be peace. I would say we'll be far. Like religion has held us back. Genetic puke says, I feel so much better when I'm on no fap. Yeah, because sometimes it's about what works for you as a person, right? Sometimes it's about what works for you as a person. Because some people might feel better when they're on semen retention, but some people might feel worse when they're on semen retention. So it depends on what works for you as a person. Reagan Baker, imagine if existence was 90% pleasure and 10% pain instead of the other way around. Yeah, maybe it would be enjoyable. Maybe it would be enjoyable. But reality not being that way, that tells us something. Then why do I never dream? Feels like I'm always awake when I sleep. That's weird. Don't you think that you dream but not remember your dreams? My bros, we gotta keep fighting onwards. Voices, I appreciate your motivation. We gotta keep fighting. DJ ONX. Dara's J Wright says we came to this realm to become masters in higher realm. What's your thoughts on this? Um, I think it feels good to believe this, like to believe that we are being trained. But when you look at how people behave, you can tell that they're not really learning anything to become better. Like their souls are not becoming better; they're just trying to survive. So I don't know. Like even if that's why we are here, I would say that's not working. Like we're not really learning, you know, anything. So we're not going to become masters after this. We'll probably be traumatized after this and would not want this experience again. Thanks for joining the live, Loon or Picks and Vals. Yeah, even last night I woke up out of a dream and then another dream, but each individual dream was very normal. Just laying in bed, waking up from the previous dream, but for the first time I knew it was a dream. It's crazy how dreams, yeah, like how weird dreams are. And we don't talk about dreams enough. Like we just wake up from a dream and we don't even think about these dreams. You're like, hell, I'm awake now. It was just a dream. Like we take for granted the fact that we were in another world that we believed was real, and we believe fully that it was real. Lavash Chodari. Not everyone is suffering. Yeah, yeah, that's true. Some people are enjoying, I guess, but most people are suffering. So not everyone is suffering, but most people are suffering. Not everyone is poor, but a lot of people are poor. Not everyone is broke, but a lot of people are broke. Nicholas Picolas, what keeps me going is cannabis. What keeps me going is GTA 6 release. I haven't played like when the problem is that when I play video games, I get dizzy, like really really dizzy. I used to like playing video games, but I get dizzy. I don't know why. Lavesh said I should do LSD. Yeah, because I've done magic mushrooms. Grind mode, Benedictine. Check out Rebellious Meat Puppet. Who is Rebellious Meat Puppet? I think I might have accidentally skipped a lot of comments here. But okay, I think Sovereign. Do you think marriage is a trap? Um, in most cases, it is. In most cases, it is. Like if you choose to get married, you and that person must be comparable on every level, right? Like if you're gonna be like, I'm gonna marry this, but like you gotta be compatible on every level. I think we've gotten used to disagreements as people, like people disagreeing with one another. Like that's good, that's growth and all that. Like I think most people get married because well, we live in a society that values marriage, not because they qualify to marry each other. So in most cases, it's a trap. But if you found a person who's really like you on so many levels, even if you guys change your mind after some few years, I don't think something bad will happen. Like you will be fair to each other. You'll be fair to each other because you understand each other. You are operating at the same level of consciousness. You are able to see things from each other's perspective. So you know things will be fine. But in most cases, it's a trap. So if someone asks me if marriage is a good idea, I'll probably say no. But it is possible to find the right person and it can work, but it's rare, is the thing. Even Paul, you guys need to read fiction. If it reads smoothly, it mesmerizes you to the point of waking up. Get a read at Bleeding Star, written by some Bison. Like I haven't read like um fiction books, but I've heard good things about these kind of books. So Rick and Baker, I would be happy with even a 10% reduction in pain and fatigue. I haven't felt good for one day in over 20 years. I haven't had good sleep in all the time. I've slept up. What's the name of this condition? Sleep apnea, and doctor won't diagnose. Um, like when you try to like work out, does it help? Like normally, when I work out, I feel sleepy afterwards. So, but yeah, in most cases, there isn't much that we can do to reduce our suffering. Billboard outdoors. What keeps me going is remembering how much better I am than them. Hmm? What are you? Who's them? Do you believe in near-death experiences? Um, yeah, kind of. I think it's like believing in dreams. Like people dream, right? People can have near-death experiences. Yes. Medusa's one, but even so-called free people still have to work. They can't leave their work when they want. Sometimes they only have short break only to work, and they'll better not go to the bathroom often. Yeah, in some jobs, people are forced to, work the whole time. Like when you can't keep on going to the bathroom. Like your boss is gonna be like, "Hey, why are you going to the bathroom? Like you keep on going to the bathroom, and you need to be there on time." That's another thing. Like you need to be at work on time. If you're not gonna be at work on time, uh, there's gonna be problems. Like those kind of jobs really suck. They're exactly like slavery when you think about it. Evelina Powell, Benedict the Truth. Is the realist being? Is it true? The world sucks. They just give power to some people. Yeah, that's the truth. At least some people have power, so they feel like you know this is working. But alone, this whole life is unjustifiable in every way. Yeah, I don't think like if a person truly was honest with themselves, like they'll be able to justify this. Like it's not easy to justify life. The holes, as modern science explains it, existence, let alone sentient existence on modern human level complexity, is a series of extreme improbabilities. Life, complex life, let alone technology. Um, I don't know if science is the best way to kind of like explain reality, but yeah, that is true, or like that's how it seems, right? Let me put it that way. Shai Dio. Ayo Benedictine, I hope you are doing as alright as one can hear. Um, not that bad, not that bad. Jonathan Torres, I started following you because I feel like I died during COVID and I'm a roaming ghost in hell. How do I get out of here? That's the thing, like quantum immortality might be a real thing. Like maybe people never really die, they just go to another reality. So they only die in our perspective. So someone dies and we be like, yo, they died. But then they go to another reality and they end up merging with artificial intelligence. So they never really experience death. They never like die and see their body like, yeah, I've died. You know, that's my body. I've died, or just cease to exist. Like that's scary. But quantum immortality makes sense to some degree. The fact that we could have been born into any situation is scary because I hope it doesn't happen again. We couldn't prevent this from happening. Yeah, yeah, that's true. It's just the fact that some people are born in situations that are worse than than we would even imagine. That that's scary, and the fact that this is possible at all, that is really really scary because it could mean that it could be possible again. Like that's scary. Jesse Shaw though keeps me going. Currently in withdrawal though. The whole Earth is the only place where any sort of life has been found to exist. Also, even the universe is an improbable event. I find that somehow hilarious. Um, you think? I think planets are real. Like the planets, and don't you think that everything is just to convince us that we are in a universe, right? But it's not really, like it's not really that, like it's something else. Everything was kind of like designed for us to be this way, and it wasn't random. It's not like life could just start to exist on its own in another planet like that. Like it would need to be like something has to put life in that planet for it to exist. So Rain says, what keeps me going is I don't want my family to suffer. I feel you, man. I feel you. The man, Benedictine the vegan, what does making it or made it mean to you? You mentioned it a lot in your video, how certain people make it, but success is somewhat subjective. Your deeper perspective. Uh, a lot of people are trying to find themselves in better living conditions. So I'll say making it is finding yourself in a better living condition where you are more free to do what you want. You have enough money to travel when you want to travel. You live in a kind of house where you feel safe. Yeah, you have the things that you want. So I'll say that is making it because everyone is trying to have the things that they want. So yeah, it is subjective, but that's the thing. Like making it, like a lot of people feel like they have not made it because they have not reached their goals because it's subjective like that. So yeah, that's how I'll put it. Jonathan Torres, do you think it's possible we all died during COVID? Everyone noticed things feel different after 2021. I feel like I'm in hell and totally withdrawn from source. Um, yeah, things seem a bit different since 2020. So I don't know, but I wouldn't, I wouldn't be certain. But things seem different. Maybe there's something that is being done to us as a collective. That's what's making us feel like that things are different. Confusing. People are so shallow. I stopped calling them friends. Yeah, man, human beings are shallow in this realm. Um, I think I've seen a quote from someone. They were saying that call your friends when they are your friends, but know that they can change and they can be your enemies. So when they are your friends, yes, they are your friends, but always know that people can change and can be your enemies. You know, like always be aware of that. Final destination says life is repetitive and boring, man. Only sex. Yeah, man, it's hard to skip the repetitive nature of life. Like you can even try to like do things differently, but still you find yourself in the like stuck in the like repetitive nature of life. Like it's things just happen the same way to a point where you're like when you think back you're confused on the day like certain things happen because nothing special actually happens, right? It's the same things every day. People are shallow. People, nothing special happens. You don't meet new people who are actually special, who are different. It's just the same thing every day, so it actually sucks. It becomes boring, having to repeat the same thing for uh you know 80 years, 40 years, 50 years. Like that really sucks. This room is like being in an abusive relationship with occasional fancy dinners. No, that is true. I've always compared being here with being in a toxic relationship, really. Open your mind. I've had some money, and money isn't anything, and I have grown up poor, achieving all my goals, owning a house, truck of the year several times, and having a business. I can tell you, not worth it. Yeah, I think this this reminds me of something that Jim Carrey said. He said, "I wish people who are not famous, people who are not rich, can actually become famous and become rich, so that they realize that that isn't the answer, right?" I think some philosopher said there are two tragedies in life, like getting everything that you want or not getting what you want. Because if you get everything that you want, you realize that well, none of it was like really, really worth it. Like you still feel empty, and you be like, well, there's nothing more that I want, and I feel empty. If you don't get what you want, you'll be like, okay, if I got what I want, I'll feel better. So that's still messed up. But the truth is, there's just no answer. Like we're in a mess, all of us. Like it doesn't really matter how much money you have. Yes, you have more control and all that, but still, there are a lot of people who have money who are really, really unhappy. Some are even more depressed than people with money. You see, so it does seem like money make people happy. I mean, it can definitely improve the quality of your life if things are really that bad for you, but having a lot of money doesn't really make people happy. Right. So I'd say having enough money to be able to take care of your needs, uh, yeah, that can improve your life because some people are really in messed up situations, but having millions might not really improve your happiness. You get used to that very quickly. Like, of course, if I made $1 million now, I'd feel much better, but I think after some time I'll get used to it and be like, well, I feel the way that I've always felt. Severing Benedictine, I daydreaming about video games a lot, so I don't need to go talk to other people in life to feel fulfilled. I think video games do help though. I think they do help people. Tim Drum, I was in rehab drinking too much alcohol. Now I'm better again, but the world is just the same. Live for my music as a drama and for my friends, and I try to face the darkness and live with it. Now that's inspiring. That's inspiring too. The Truth TV, how are you doing? Not too bad. Whenever something bad happens in my life, I always try to remind myself that this is how. Yeah, because sometimes you can forget until until you are reminded. Super glue. No one bothers to keep living. No one just has the courage to die. Evelyn Paula. At first, I used to consider the well-being of my landlord. Like if something happens to me and I die in this rented flat, uh, he and the tenants would suffer. Now, I don't really care because rents are high. Uh, um, like I say, what keeps people going is just it's other people. It's other people. Most conscious elephant in the room. Every word plays with the value system. Blue Park written. Is this place a school or a hell room or a hellish school? But yeah, it's more like a hellish school because you do learn that it's a messed up realm, so you want to detach yourself from it. So in a sense, you learn it's a school, but it wasn't meant to be a school. Um, it seems like it was meant to be like a farm more than like a school. But there are a lot of things that I've learned while I was here, and things that makes me want to detach myself from it. Maxilo Camero, it's so sad. This world getting worse. Final Destination. I don't get nightmares that much anymore. Like life itself is a nightmare. Yeah, I don't remember the last time I had a nightmare. I mean, I've had a dream where I was being chased by a snake. That's It's not really a nightmare. Like it's been a while since I had a dream where I was like dealing with monsters. The existence of existence, it's not knowing that keeps me going. What is this place that we found ourselves in? The mystery of it all makes me want to know more. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what keeps me going. That's exactly what keeps me going. Sovereign. Semi invitation gives me very vivid long dreams. Yeah, exactly. Like if you retain your semen, even your like your memory, like you'll be able to remember like uh, things that you wouldn't remember if you we're ejaculating a lot. So yeah. Sierra Jackson, been watching your video lately. How is it going? Not bad, not bad. Eternity 8. I want to know who I am and where I am, what this reality is when I pass away, so that I have better chance of not coming back to this horrible reality. No, same here. Same here. Like it's really like that's really what's keeping me going, you know. Miss Marshall, hey Benedict. Can you tell us about your home life, your living arrangement? How do you make money to eat, to pay bills? I think I should make a video, more like a vlog, like just show everyone how I live and my ways of making money. Because I don't like have like one way of making money. So yeah, I think I should make videos on that too. So I will like I'll have a dedicated video on that. Maybe that will also inspire others. You know, because I don't think a person should have like one stream of income in this realm, but they should try to make their lives as easy as possible, to to at least not be um like too like not find yourself dealing with too much, because if you are doing too many things just to make money, you can find yourself not being able to cope. But yeah, I'll make a dedicated video on that, and I've been meaning to make a video on that, because I think that's also important. How do you make a living in this realm? So that uh, yeah, things don't become much worse for you. Final destination. No one understands us better than ourselves. That is the truth. Some people are lucky they can have sex with their partners, but what about those of us who are single? Um, that's that's one of the messed up thing about this realm, is that there's many people, but many people are alone. It's like there are people who are just unattracted to one another. It just sucks, you know. Like millions of people who are unattracted to one another, only attracted to few people. Confusing says people are too shallow to be friends. Final Destination says listen to Osho. Yeah, he was he was something else. Is he still alive? Because last time I checked, he was locked up. Conversation with my higher self. I think there is only one consciousness out there. There's only one mind. Nikuanoto. Entropy sucks. Everything decays and dies. Yeah, but imagine if everything was forever. Phone freeze. Life always sucked. We live in a pre. Hold up. I think I accidentally skipped that comment. And the only disadvantage of using my laptop is that I can accidentally skip comments. Real, it seems that people either became awakened after COVID, or they became more withdrawn, frightened, and harsh. No, they became more awakened, but not like it's more like fake woke. Really, it's like people don't trust the government. They don't trust celebrities. They don't look up to the people that they used to look up to. But I don't think they really see what is going on. So Yeah, so it's kind of it feels like they are woke, but it's not. It's fake wokeness, really. The majority goes the way to selfishness, and the justice full of fairness is not the strongest between humans, and so the same majority accept the unacceptable. People people are just afraid, to be honest. Nigo Chen, I always think, how can I, an alive king, I have nothing left here. My old beloved is gone, passed away in the. No, I feel you. I feel you. What sucks is that there are a lot of people in the world who feel that way, like exactly that way, and they don't know what to do. Sovereign, how do I fully embrace solipsism? Mm, if it's not toxic for you, because there are a lot of people who have reported that that made them toxic, you know. So if it's not toxic, if it makes you more loving, more caring, and more understanding, then that will be good. Fun freeze. Last 2 years, I suffered a lot of anxiety related to people, to the point of hospitalization. Now these people are trying to reach out to me, but after all that, I became 10 times aware of human behavior. Yeah, like once you see the truth, there's no going back. Once you see the truth about people, there's just no going back. If you go back, that's on you. Like you get fooled once, shame on the people who fooled you. But again, Evelyn Paula, you didn't get the gist about my rent landlord comments. I meant that I don't care anymore if I grow old and die in this flat and cause him the burden of cleaning up. Oh no, now I get you. But are you are you are you still young, or because I feel like if you're still young, like that's still gonna take time. What I've noticed is that like people who are conscious, they tend to live longer than, like, you know most people. Like people who don't want to die are people who die early, and people who want to die, they're the ones who live longer. It's crazy. Tough fields, yo Benedictine. Thanks for joining the live. Shai Deal. An accurate representation of what I say to myself every day, that I wake up in this realm. Let's keep on liking the life. I think we're on 68 now. I actually managed to get to the bottom. Like I think I should be able to read the comments in real time now. DJONX. I once managed to sleep out my body through meditation. Haven't been able to do that, to do it ever since. I'm certain though this reality is scripted. Who the author is, I'm not sure. Yeah, this is the thing that I've realized. Like I'm also unable to put myself in the state that I was in, where I felt like I was about to have an out of body experience. It seemed to have happened by accident. Because I kind of like I used to know how to do it, but now it doesn't happen anymore. So it's almost it almost seems like something doesn't want you to have that experience again. It wants you trapped in this, you know, in this reality, like not be able to do things that can help you like gain some new information about what's going on here. AM, we are on the road to the Armageddon of the Malhama. Evelyn Paula. Yeah, people who are tired of life die hard. Even after a snake bite, they keep on living. Yeah, it's upside down when you think about it. Like those who are really, really afraid of death, those are the people who would die. You're like, damn, that person was so full of life. But the ones who are tired, yeah, it's like life just wants them here for some reason. Tough feels. This is a question I ask my own philosophy. AM, nothing won't stop the road to Armageddon. Final destination, absurdism. Yeah, everything is absurd, right? Jonathan Neal, I've been suffering from andonia for a while. What's that? What's anhedonia? Seems like there are many sicknesses in this world that people suffer from. Like, doesn't that tell us something? Like the fact that there's too many sicknesses. Like, if you don't have like a sickness that you're suffering from, like you should consider yourself lucky. But I don't know if there's a person who is not sick at all, like in some way. It seems like everyone has a problem. Like you're not supposed to be perfect. Like for example, my eyes, like I don't see very well, and um, sometimes I feel like I might lose my eyes. Like sometimes I have that fear, but I think it might be paranoia because I thought that at the age of 30, like uh, I will not be able to see. I remember at the age of 24, I'll be so scared, and I'll tell my parents that I think my eyesight has been coming worse. So maybe at the age of 30, I won't be able to see. But I'm 31 now, and I'm still able to see. So maybe it's paranoia, but it's like everyone has something that they're suffering from. You know, tough feels. We are never completely satisfied, and problems never go. What lifestyle? Firstly, minimize problems and suffering. Secondly, maximize satisfaction and value of life. If contingency and uncertainty. Yeah, it's we never like we can never get it right. Like there's not a formula that can work. That's the problem. Like there's not a formula that can make this a better experience. It's a bad experience, and it seems like that's what it was supposed to be, a bad experience. So no matter how hard we try to make it better, no matter how hard we try to be satisfied, nothing really changes. You know, I mean, things do change for a while, but they, you know, they go back to being the same. Sovereign Benedict, what do you think of Renegade number one? No, I think he was an honest dude. I think he was honest about a lot of things that he said. Um, I think I think as men, we should try our best to not uh, seek validation from women. Women also, like, they should try their best not to seek validation from us, because what nature has done to us is that it has made us enemies in a way. What do I mean? when a woman sees a man, she sees something that she can benefit from. When a man sees a woman, he sees something that can benefit from. So when they decide to be together, they want to benefit from each other. So the whole thing is based on is transactional. What happens if the other person loses the value and the other person is no longer benefiting? They want to benefit from another person. So this relationships, um they're not really like based on highest values. Really, it's just it has to do with benefiting and all that. So it needs to get to a point where men are able to, you know, to be okay being single without seeking validation from females, and females also must be okay with being single, not seeking validation from males. Like if we can be in that state, I think that would be much better. But that's not easy because we've been programmed to seek validation. That's the problem. We've been programmed to seek validation from females as men, and females have been programmed to seek validation from males. But what I've noticed is that when we based our whole lives on like seeking validations from females as men, like things don't really go well for us. Like we end up having mental health issues, because the dating game is confusing because it's based more on feelings than anything, like than logic. It's not like if a woman loves you, she loves you because she chose. She was chilling one day. She was like, who's the guy that I can date that's gonna treat me right? And if I'm with this person, things are gonna work better in my life. Like she's not. It doesn't work that way. She just fall in love with a guy and not even know why, and it doesn't really matter if he's treating her well, if he's not treating her well. She just love him and suffer because of that. Same with us guys. It's there's no logic to it. If there was logic, we'll be able to choose the right people, and things would work out. But we're not in control of how we feel. It's like to love another person is to become weak for them, right? You become weak and you no longer think straight, and you suffer because of that. It's very similar to being addicted to drugs. Honestly, it's very similar. I think some scientists have said that the part that's activated when you're in love is the part that's activated when you're addicted to drugs. So it's kind of like the same thing. So yeah, I think as men we need to teach ourselves to not seek validation from females, because doesn't really mean anything. And females also, because it's not like when we love females as men, we're like, yeah, I'm gonna love the best female, the smartest female. Like we don't even like love is not. We don't even feel love because the pe- the other person is just great. Like that's the best human, so you feel love for them. It doesn't even work that way. You could love a person for petty things, for petty reasons. So like, oh, this person, like as a guy, you can be like, oh, this girl has a big ass, and then you love it because of that. Uh, a girl can be like, oh, this guy has money. This guy is funny. You know, uh, this guy is spontaneous. Like stupid things like that make people fall in love. So you see, you shouldn't be seeking validation. Final destination. Everyone will die, and we can die anytime with anything, anywhere. The Kin's sight. The universe created us a joke. We already established that. SOA. Until when they reach it, they are hearing the sight and their skins testify against them. According the Quran. Bro, I've got toxic exes who still wanna be with me. I feel like pretty girls can't handle being hated by someone who once loved them. No cap. I have ex I still love, but she hates me, and I accepted that. It's just loosh, man. It's just loosh. It's just the way to get energy from us, really. Relationships are the best way that we give loosh to this whole thing. Final destination. Women can have anything in this world, especially if she's beautiful. Um, both men and women can have anything if they are in a good, position. Tough fields. I do feel all our human nature is within framework of survival and reproduction. Yeah, that's true. Chew broke. The answer is absurdism. Yeah, Jonathan Neal. If you have money, you can have sex whenever you want to. Don't get addicted to escorts like me, though. Yeah, it can get to a point where it's unhealthy, I think. What are your thoughts on hair trans transplants, Benedict? You mean people adding hair on them? It's like I don't like judging people. I think uh, some people can say, "Hey, it's because of lack of confidence or whatever." I think people can do what they want in their own bodies. Like who who says they can't be creative? Like I'm not against any of that, honestly. Silent wind simulation theory. It's more likely a dream than a simulation. Tough fields, not really final. You have to consider when you are a very beautiful woman, someone might want control over you. I think relationships are kind of like about that. Like people want to control each other like that. Do you own poultry? No, no, I don't. Gabriel Miller, a dream can be simulated. No, that's brilliant. Actually, like a dream can be simulated, but I think you can have a dream where dreams are simulated. Addis Rogers, nice to see you again. Thanks for sharing. Usually you trekking. What's keeping you inside today? Um, what do you mean by trekking? Being immortal sucks. But it seems like we are not immortal. Maybe we're eternal, but not immortal. Romance is about possessing the love object, but true love leaves the object alone so as to change it. Yeah, but I think we have, like, everyone has their idea about love based on what didn't work for them. So someone will say, well, a woman who loves a man will always listen to him, but you find that she just had a man that didn't listen to her, so she thinks that to be loved by I mean, you find that yeah, she had a man who didn't listen to her, so she feels like every man who loves his woman must listen to her because of that. I think people are different and they love differently. So a person can love you and still seem like they don't listen to you. um like there isn't a formula to this thing because human beings are different and they're wired differently. So what might feel like love to me might not be what feels like love to another person. Everyone has their own love language. That's how I look at it. Did you quit drinking? Yeah. I only drink this. Like I don't even drink cold drink. I don't even drink juice. I don't even drink tea. I drink water. Like I don't want to drink anything with sugar. Like sugar makes me feel unhealthy. Tough field. I wrote a paper. Our universe needs our control, connection, and consistency. Obviously, can't type it on here. Thanks for the super thanks, Black Hole. Oh, trekking means walking. Oh, so you were saying that what why are you recording inside? Like why are you inside? Not even recording. Why are you live? Why are you not working? Um, like I'm in a new place now, so it's not easy for me to do like a walk and talk like I used to. Like back then when I was living closer to like the village, it would be much easier for me to just walk. You know, I was living in the village and I went to live in town, so I would still go like to the village and walk and yeah, that would work. But now it's not really easy because there's so many cars, too many people. I can get easily distracted. Why do humans find nihilism rational when the only thing that matters is feelings? What do you mean the only thing that matters is feelings? Ocean Estate. What is your love language? Uh, for me, love is just understanding, man. Like it's misunderstandings that make relationship toxic, to be honest. Like you must be able to understand a person where they are coming from, why they say what they say, and there must be real communication. Like I believe in communication, because I believe human beings are complex. Like we're these complex killed creatures that are living in our own worlds. So I must be able to communicate as effectively as I can with the other person and be as honest as possible. And they must also be able to communicate with me as honestly as they can. And um, we must be willing to uh, help one another in ways that we can, right? Like I must be able to give you validation the way that you want to be given validation, based on how your past was. Like you could date a girl and you find that she wants you to check up on her in the morning, because maybe she in a previous relationship, like the guy didn't care about her, he didn't check up on. If that's what she says, I must try to understand it and be like this person that can heal and check up on her. Like, hey, how did you sleep and all that. Like there must be communication. Like communication is very, very important, and there must be understanding. And yeah, love, because it doesn't seem to last. Like it's just feelings, so sometimes it can go away. And if people are operating from a place of understanding, I still believe that they can communicate at a level that can still, bring them closer to each other, even if those feelings are no longer, there. So yeah, to me, love is understanding. You must understand the person that you're in a relationship with. If there's no understanding, you are fucked. Period. Like you're gonna suffer in that relationship. Evelyn Paul, I've applied for a scholarship from a new African author. He has pre-selected me. Now I need to help improve the sales because that is the source of my funding. Please grab his book and read it. What is the book's name? What is his book? Then Benedict, would you marry a sugar mom? Like me and my friend were having a conversation today, and I was like, I was telling him that um, when I was buying clothes for the gym, I met this sugar mom. She's like 50, I think she's 55. So I started talking to her, started like flirting with her, and things were going well until like her man came, right? So he like she wanted to give me her numbers, and then the man like her man was like on the other side, so he came, so he didn't realize what we were talking about, and I was like, damn. So though not marry, but I do think older women can look like they know how to love younger guys. Let me put it that way. Like older women know how to love younger guys. So yeah, sometimes it can be a good relationship, you know. Sometimes it can be a good relationship. Thought filled. I agree with you. Everyone has their own sex love language. Yeah, true, man. Like sometimes we judge one another, be like, you you don't love me because you're like this and that. Like people are different. That's the thing. People are different. But for me the truest form of love is understanding. Like it's understanding. Dagen less PIT 247. Isn't life just feelings game? Yeah, I would say that. I would say it is. It's impossible to understand anyone in this room. There is an unbridgeable, infinite gap between each of us. Yeah, it seems that way, but I think we can get close to understanding one another. So yeah, it is true that it's you can never really understand a person or see things from their perspective, but I do think we can get close to understanding one another, right? Especially if we communicate deeply. Because people have shallow conversations. Like people in relationships will be just talking about things that don't help them connect. They can just be talking about, hey, at work this and that happened. Hey, did you watch the soccer game? This and like they never talk about them and how they feel, and they have these deep conversations that bring them closer. So um yeah, I get you. Like it's not easy to understand one another's people. Brother, I'm I'm conscious enough, but hey, we don't really have free will. At Final Destination, if the entity universe, God, Allah, Satan wants something to happen to you, it will, brother. Mm. Like a lot of people who believe that we don't have free will, they they're looking at like the opposite of free will, like as like predestination, right? They feel like when a person says there's no free will, they mean that everything is predestined. But what I'm saying is that everything is a result of causality. Not that everything is pre-planned, but everything is a result of causality, meaning that every decision that you make is based on what has happened in the past. So if we restarted the universe, things will happen exactly as they happen. It will be like a movie. Like nothing will change. That's what I mean when I say we don't have free will. Is that when you were born, certain things happen. And because these things happen, they led to you being the way that you are. Right? There are things that happened yesterday that are making you act the way that you're acting today, and this is happening unconsciously. Like you're I mean subconscious, like on a subconscious level, like you're not conscious of how it's happening. Sorry to hear that you are not working anymore. Broadening your environment broadens the mind. Congratulations securing a new homestead. Thanks. No, I still do my work and talk, but it's not as easy as it used to be. The Matrix loves to send us preachers for Allah and Jesus. Yeah, it's ironic, isn't it? Now that's delusion. Even when you think you are closer to understanding them, you're just further away because they don't even understand themselves because they too are infinitely divided within. It's just that many people don't understand themselves, but it's not every person who doesn't understand themselves. That's the thing. Final Destination Bangladesh was part of the India too. It amazes me that how once everything was united without any stupid borders. The side Benedict, really? Come on, my brother. We did not choose to be born, being male or female, or your parents, or having an illness. Did I say we did choose to be born? I didn't say we did. So maybe you're misunderstanding me. Tough fields. Love is a strong affection towards oneself and another, characterized by nurturing care and warmth. But what causes you to love is its own language or varies from one person to another. Yeah. Final Destiny. Spread the word. I highly recommend to listen to Osho. No, he was something. He was something. In case, what keeps me going is that I'm scripted to keep going. Yesterday, I didn't want to die. I just didn't want to exist anymore. I feel you. So everything seems scripted, right? Everything is, you know, guys. Let's keep on liking the life. Let's keep on liking the life. Tough feels. I love Osho. You try listening to said guru. I think both Osho and said guru were entirely like Osho is intelligent. Said guru is intelligent. Um, but I also think it's charismatic. That also helps him, right? There are some people who know how to speak to people, right? Like the way that he speaks, like it makes people want to listen, right? Plus, he has a beard and his accent. Like if you have an Indian accent and you have a beard and you are intelligent, you can be very charismatic. That is a part of free will, right? Every variable based on your action, while many have already been predestined by default, which leads no free will. It seems like free will, like free will is an illusion. So it seems like we have free will while we don't. Peaks and valleys. I'm back. Had to sort something out. Benedict, if you were giving full power of laws around the world, how would you try to fix the fundamental problems like poverty, war? Um, that's a good question. Um, I think I will use the money that we have in the world to develop children. Like make sure that children are taught the right things from an early age. They taught every child is taught the right things. Philosophy is also taught in school. I would also make sure that each and every person can get a job, right? Like people don't have to look for jobs. Jobs will look for people. That will be very, very important. Everyone deserves to work. Um, yeah, but I think education is important. Like people are taught the right things at an early age. Like that will be very, very important because I think the problem is that we're taught the wrong things. We're programmed the wrong way. We're programmed in a way that benefits those who are on top. So yeah, if we weren't programmed that way, I think society will be much better than it is. Gary Roberts, love is not some magical thing. It's simply addiction. Yeah, that's the truth, right? Tough feels. I'll write it down. Final destination. Said guru copies also. I think it's intelligent. Like it's. I don't think. I think there are some things that you say that are true that another person says. So you're not necessarily copying that person. They're both from Hinduism, India. No, don't put Sadhguru down. Yeah, exactly. So there will be similarities. Dante, AI robots will take most jobs by 2040, and I think they'll be universal income. Why do you think there will be universal income? Peaks and valleys. That makes a lot of sense. Do you know much about how central banking works? I think one of the core problems is how money is created by charging interest on debt. So we are always fighting for scraps. Yeah, I don't know much about how the central bank works, but obviously poverty is created purposefully. Like it's not something that just happened randomly as a result of the system that we created. I think there are people who want poverty to continue to exist, and yeah, they're ensuring that it exists. Dante, because no jobs and will be implanted by neural link. All right, so there will be no jobs at all, so there should be like a universal income. So I just think it'll get to a point where people are just no longer needed. So, but but no, I get what you're saying. It makes sense. Final destination says Osho is Osho still alive? Because I haven't really been following that guy, so I don't know. AM Benedict time. With regards to your point of view about life, what is the solution to go towards a better life? What is the way to reach this point? I mean, for an individual, for a collective. Um, for an individual, I don't know if there's much that people can do. It like what needs to be understood is that we are a collective, right? So we to solve the problems that we have to solve these problems as a collective. Like most people who are in bad situations are in bad situations because as a collective we're not doing things right. Like we purposely put some people in a bad situation. It's like uh, it's like in boxing, right? When two people fight, there has to be a winner, there has to be a loser. Like this how this society has been set up. Like there will be some people who will lose, there will be some people who will win. So it's the problem is how society has been set up. So there isn't much that an individual can do. If you are born into a world that doesn't play by your rules, obviously you'll be left behind, right? If you are born in a country where the rules don't favor you, you'll be left behind. If you were born in a poor family, you'll be left behind. So it's not easy, honestly. 127, love your lives, brother. No, thanks. The rules only wanted the peasants to build them AI robots so they wouldn't need the peasant. And yeah, no, that makes sense. All right, thank you guys for joining the live, and keep liking the live. Um, Confusing. I think capitalism is to blame growth more than necessary. Growth only for its sake. Um, what's ruining our human experience? Final destination. Politics, divide and rules. All right, guys. Thank you for joining the lives. Yeah, the live is about to end now, so let's like it. Let's like the live. Kowalski. Hi, man. Do you think it's worth at all to continue human race? Of course, breeding in this case will be considered necessary evil, but at least through responsible breathing. Now, I think this realm is too messed up, man. Like, I think we weren't created for a good reason. That's the thing. It's like if we're breeding animals to we're breeding animals to unalive other animals or to fight. I would say that's not necessary. That's the thing. Like it's not a good thing. So I also don't think that we're bred for a good reason. That's the thing. But yo, thank you all guys for joining the live. Let's keep on liking the live. Yeah, I'm ending the live now. It was a great live actually. Like I loved it because it was chilled. Like it wasn't like the other lives. Like it was just chill. It was good vibes. So thank you all guys for joining the lives and the live, and also thank you for telling me what keeps you going. It's good to inspire one another. It's a tough journey that we are we are all part of. Thank you all guys.